The new July monthly program rewards are finally here, guys, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit disappointing and a bit fire at the same time. Like, the new 99 Austin Riley, which we're gonna take a look at in a quick second, is absolutely amazing, and you have to put this card on your team in some way, shape, or form. Even if you have George Brett and Frank Thomas, you got to put this man in left field, as you guys will see why in a quick second. But it's disappointing because the 95s and 97s just really aren't like cards that I will see playing too much, to be honest, and some of them let me down a little bit, like this Andres Munoz, for example. This is a card that I thought was going to have a four-seam outlier, which he does. I thought he was also going to have the slider, which he does, and then a cutter as well to go along with that two-seam. The fact that he does not have a cutter makes this card way too it's just way too easy to hit. Like, you are going to be sitting dead red on that fastball, and you know the only off speed you're getting in any way, shape, or form is going to be that slider. Having a cutter to go along with an outlier fastball does help in a pitch mix like this, without a doubt. So the simple fact that he did not get that really makes the card not too usable, in my opinion. It's like basically he's like a Edwin Diaz that has outlier. Like, if Edwin Diaz had outlier, that's what this card would be pretty much. And we all know that Edwin Diaz, regardless if he has outlier or not, is not a hard card to hit at all. Now, JT Realmuto is the next card up. This card is someone who always plays above his attributes, but even then, the attributes for this card really are not good. Like, the contact is okay, the power just really is not there at all. I mean, 79 against right and 70 against left. Fielding wise, of course, this card is always, or this man is always going to have amazing fielding stats. As you can see, literally 90 plus across the board. And then he also does have 85 speed. So again, not a card that I really see playing too much unless you don't just have like a great catcher in any way, shape, or form. You may use this card right here, but then again, Joe Mauer is only worth like 100k stubs at this point in time. So another card I really don't see getting too much play out of. And the next is Cole Irvin, guys. This is a card that has a very good mix, decent hit per nine, all things like that. It's just honestly the velocity is not there for this card. I mean, 92 fastball, 91 sinker. If he had a cutter to go along with that sinker, similar to like a Dallas Keuchel situation or something like that, I think he would get a lot more play and a lot more people would use him. But the fact that he doesn't have a cutter to go along with that sinker, I just feel like this card might be a little bit too easy to hit in terms of him not having anything overpowering or anything like that. Now, the third baseman, Jose Miranda, this is actually one of the better 95 overall cards in my opinion, not only because his hitting stats are pretty damn good. I mean, 105, 100 contact splits, 81 and 105 power splits. The 81 power against right isn't the greatest, but it still will get the job done. And this man can not only play third, but he can literally play anywhere in the infield. That's why, or one of the reasons why I do think he's probably the best 95 overall card that we got in this monthly reward program. Now, we also got a 95 Brady Singer, who's not bad by any means, but at the same time, just not a card that I see making a lot of lineups at this point and a lot of rotations at this point in time. I mean, 97 hits per nine, not really the greatest at this point. Usually, mostly everybody in everyone's rotation has 100 plus, and then the mix is okay, nothing special. You got sinker, slider, circle change, and he does not have outlier on that sinker for anybody who was wondering as well. So again, this is a card that I see some people using who don't have like the greatest rotations in the world, but overall not a card that is anything special by any means. Now, the last one up is the 95 Ramon Urias, and this is another card that's not bad, but the splits against lefties just makes him a little bit unplayable in my opinion, considering Randy Johnson and some others are out there, like Aaron Ashby and things like that. But he does have good splits against righty. As you can see, 114 contact, 92 power. He is able to play second and shortstop as well. But at the same time, you're really not going to put that card at second or shortstop due to the slow speed. And at shortstop, that 62 arm really is not going to be the best. So again, the 95s are pretty underwhelming. Again, the Jose Miranda is who I feel is the best 95 overall card out of that whole pack right there. Now, the 97s do get a little bit better, but at the same time, again, just cards I don't see getting much play. With all the third basemen that are being added, like if you don't have George Brett, you're playing that Austin Riley at third base right now. And honestly, I'd probably prefer to play Rafi Devers over this Matt Chapman still at third base, just due to those lefty splits. Rafi literally, I believe, has better lefty splits, especially contact wise, and still has decent enough power against lefties to where I would definitely play that Rafi over this Matt Chapman right here. Even though Chapman does have an amazing swing in this game, I usually love his higher end cards for like BR and things like that. But in terms of a God Squad, I don't see this card making any God Squad out there at this point in time. Again, the righty splits are nice, but the lefty being so low really brings this card down. down, in my opinion. If he would have had like 100 contact versus left with that 95 power, this card would have been a lot better without a doubt. Now, fielding wise, he's absolutely amazing. I mean, literally nothing should be getting by this card without a doubt. But again, still not good enough for me to be playing him, because like I said, if you don't have George Brett, you will most likely be putting Austin Riley at third, and Rafi Devers to me is still a better option because I do love Rafi's swing as well. Now we also do have the Matt Carpenter, who probably is the best 97 and best like card that is not Austin Riley in this program. He is a right field main, but you can play him at first, second, or third, so you do have options with this card right here. And he has 102 contact versus right, 106 versus left, 119 power versus right, and 114 versus left. So this card definitely can play without a doubt on Legend against the higher tier pitchers in the game at this point in time. And again, you can play him at first, second, or third. Probably will see this card a lot at third base, guys. For those who don't have George Brett, again, probably will be playing this card right here at third and putting Austin Riley in the outfield, because this card is without a doubt absolutely amazing. I really wish that I didn't have George Brett right now, just because I love Matt Carpenter. I've always loved Matt Carpenter cards in MLB The Show. So it's kind of sad for me that I'm not going to get much use out of him, but I know that this card will be making a lot of God squads without a doubt, because he's just absolutely cracked out when it comes to hitting. Now, we also got a 97 Ryan Pressly. Not a big fan of Ryan Pressly. He does have 123 hits per 9, which is very, very damn good. But the mix and what he has to throw is just, that's just not that great. Like, he has a fastball that's nothing special in terms of velocity, pretty BP in my opinion. The slider at 90, averaging at 90 is pretty good without a doubt, but then he has that slurve. I wish he would have had like a changeup or something instead of that slurve, but he does have that slider slurve combo, which I don't really like on pitchers if they don't have a changeup or any kind of other pitch besides those two and a fastball, and that is the case with Ryan Pressly. And again, he doesn't really have anything that is like overpowering or anything like that. If he had an outlier fastball, his mix would be a lot harder to hit, because you're always wary of that 102, but again, that is just not the case with this card. So I really don't see this card getting much play on a lot of teams either. The only reason I really see him being in the bullpen is because of that 123 hits per 9, and we still don't have the most like great bullpen arms at this point in the game. So overall, man, those are the cards that we're going to be getting. Now, we do get the new Craig Biggio, which I believe is a card that a lot of people will enjoy, and another reason why you really don't need to use that JT at all, even if you don't have a catcher, even if you don't have the Joe Mauer, because you could put this man behind the plate right here, and he has better stats literally across the board, except for when it comes to the fielding and the speed, than JT does. So the Craig Biggio is always a fan favorite, has a really good swing, not the craziest power stats or anything like that, but you always see this card played at catcher a lot, just because, I mean, for a catcher, this man is definitely amazing without a doubt. So that'll be a card you definitely see get some play. Probably the card that you'll see get the most play as far as the yellow lightning player of the month goes with the throwbacks. Now let's get to the 99 Austin Riley. This card right here, guys, is absolutely cracked. Like, I mean, come on. 113 contact versus right, 120 versus left, and then we got a 102 power versus right and 109 versus left. And even for all you foul ball maniacs out there, he has 86 vision as well, so he will be able to foul off some pitches for you guys out there that just be battling for 15 pitches in that back. So again, this card hitting wise is just absolutely cracked out of his mind. Like, this is a card that you have to put on your field in some way, shape, or form. For me, he's going to be playing left field without a doubt. One of my outfielders is going to have to sit down. Obviously, I can't take out George Brett, and I don't have the option to play George at second anymore due to Jackie Robinson being out. So again, this card is definitely going to be my left fielder, and he has good enough speed to play left. As you guys can see, 69 speed, which will get up to 74 once you parallel 5 him. And then his fielding stats, he's pretty much going to have gold fielding once you get him parallel 1, because he has 84 fielding, which will be knocked down to 79. And again, once you get that parallel 1, it will be at 80 overall. So again, this is a card right here, in my opinion, is just absolutely cracked, and by far the best player of the month that we've gotten this year. Like, and I'm not even saying because he's the first 99 or anything. Of course, he has the highest overall out of them. I'm talking about for the time in the game when these cards individually dropped. This is the most cracked out card at the time of him dropping, without a doubt. And a card, again, that you will be seeing on God Squads, honestly, almost till end game. Like, you will see this card on God Squads almost till end game, because think about the contact splits. He's going to have 118, 125 contact when he gets to parallel 5. That is a end game hitter right there, and what you're looking for in an end game hitter in terms of contact. And then the power is going to be 107 and 114. Again, this card is absolutely cracked out of his mind, and I cannot wait to unlock him and start using him at the same time. So overall, man, this is the new monthly reward program, and you can see why I said that it's a bit disappointing and then also a bit fire at the same time. Like the 95s and 97s, I really don't see getting too much play. I feel like the other lower tier cards have been better in the other months throughout this year of MLB The Show 22. But by far, the best Lightning player in terms of the flashback and also in terms of the actual player of the month with the Austin Riley. So let me know what you guys think about this new player of the month program for July. Are you guys excited for these cards? Do you like any of the 95s or 97s that we do have available to us? Let me know your thoughts on that down below in the comments. But till next time, man, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, hope you guys have a good one. Peace, y'all.